Hello, my name is Hannah, you're watching iHasArt, and this is a channel about crafts and things, and crochet and painting and stash busting most of all. No, I don't know what to say.
I'm gonna have some really creative camera angles this week. And I'm sorry if you hear any jingling, the baby has a bell. So I have a ball of this stuff. This doesn't look like much because it was in a giant yarn vomit and I had to ball it up because it was annoying me. And I think this is a Sirdar jewel spun yarn. And I've worked with this stuff before and it's just one of those balls that just keeps giving and giving. I have one of these in green and one of these in like a blue purple. And what's really fun about this is that this green kind of changes tonal values throughout. So this is a little square I started, or a little circle I started. And there's actually going to be like purple and everything in it. I'm thinking about making a little Boggy froggy toy sack. In theory, it should be simple. And initially, I'm not going to worry about any legs. I'm just going to focus on the shape and the head and then like somehow trying to hook it somewhere. Let's see how far we get.
One of the favourite things I did this week was go strawberry picking at a nearby farm. I hadn't actually done this before and it was a really wonderful experience, especially since I went with my friends and their kids as well, who are slightly older. The field just looked like something out of Studio Ghibli, so when I got home, I was inspired to recreate the vibe and the feeling of these kids just running amok in these fields. I got out my old gouache, which as you can see have separated. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. It's part of the reason for this stash busting, is to figure out what exactly is still usable and what isn't. But don't worry, if this happens to you, you can just mix it all up and it's perfectly fine to work with. I haven't done a Ghibli themed painting before and I find the backgrounds absolutely stunning and something that I just haven't been able to do. I'm not very good at backgrounds in general. It's something that I want to practice and get better at. But for this one, I even kind of ummed and ahed about, you know, the subject matter and how it should look, but really I just wanted to get stuck in, so I did. I just got out an old card stock that I had and just drew straight on it. And to be fair, I just wanted to kind of capture the joy and the fun that these kids were having in this field. I think it's quite a fun little exercise and I'd like to do more of them. I think it's a fun way of preserving memories instead of just relying on photographs. You have to actively recall and build a story from it. What's something that you would like to create in this same manner? It doesn't have to be a real event, but maybe something inspired by something that's happened in your life, and then you just embellish some of the details. Hello, it's future Hannah here. Unfortunately, I couldn't record all the stages that I did on the painting I was working on, but this is how far I got. So this is the little painting I was working on, and as you can see, the colours have dried a lot lighter than what I initially put down. That's just the nature of the paints. I still have to do some outlines to make the characters pop, so this will be what I'll be working on next week. I just wanted to pause and take a break and show you the progress of my Boggy froggy base. It's doing this lovely mottled green colour, and the baby's playing with a bell. This is that Sirdar jewel spun yarn using a 6.5mm hook. And just to kind of clarify and highlight, underline, whatever you want to say, the importance of crochet hooks and picking the right sizes. This is about like 10 rows of increasing. This is also about 10 rows of increasing using, I think this is like a 4.5. So yeah, use the right size tools. It helps. Thanks for the music, baby. I'm a little bit disappointed in how the video has turned out this week. I started off quite strong, recording a lot of clips and getting them together, but unfortunately my paint along clips, they were just too chunky and I've struggled to get them over to my PC to edit with them, so this video is way shorter than what I intended. I was hoping for another long form chill out video for you guys, but it just hasn't happened. However, silver lining, I decided to go for an impromptu trip this weekend, and in doing so I've already got some good clips going on and, like, you know, a little bit more of a storytelling of what's happening next week. So I have an idea of what's going to be coming, and hopefully it will be a slightly better form video. And, you know, maybe I should really start planning and structuring these way better, but at the same time I start off the week thinking I'm going to do one thing, and then by the end of the week I've done something completely different. And to be perfectly honest, when I have a tiny baby who's starting to crawl and roll around everywhere, and, you know, I don't have much long left before I start going back to work, I'm just going to roll with it. I'm just going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what I enjoy doing, and I really hope you guys are doing what you enjoy doing too. Life is too short. Let me know what you are working on. I love hearing what you guys are up to. I would love to hear some ideas of how I could paint a giant vanish tub because that I'm currently keeping some yarn in. I want to drill a hole in it and make it into a kind of a yarn tube, but I have no idea what to decorate it as. So if you have any ideas of some really fun yarn inspired or fiber friend inspired things that I can cover this vanish tube with, let me know. And if you want to know what happened to the possum this weekend, stay tuned for next week. It's been lovely seeing you guys. Hope you're all having a wonderful week. Take care, have fun, keep crafting.